Alright, you guys, we're back with part 2. Last time we discussed the field. Spell and trap go here, monsters go here. Your graveyard is right there. Your dueling deck is right here. Minimum 40 cards. I would say a maximum of 60. There's your opponent's field. He would have his deck there, his graveyard there, his monsters there, his spell and trap there, yada 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 yada. You can basically pretty much ignore those unless you have certain cards that go there. They're really specific. You can almost do it without them too. And you don't need the field. You can, as long as you know the layout, you can play anywhere. But yeah, here's some monsters. Now I'm going to go through spell and trap. Like I said, monsters you can only have, you can summon or set once per turn. I'll explain that hopefully right after this one if we have time. But like for example, spell cards, you would play spell cards right here. As soon as you play them, they go to the graveyard. Here's another example. Here, again, let me analyze the monster card. Let's analyze the spell card. Name, it's a spell right here. They're all spell, and their effect. Read the effect. It pertains to monsters and hands and opponents and stuff like that. Read the effect, obviously. Here's another spell card. Here's another one. This one is a continuous spell. So meaning it's continuous. So it stays on here as long as the text reads or as long as it needs to be there. So that's a continuous spell card. Here is another spell card. It is a quick play, meaning it can almost be played like a trap, so you can activate it even your opponent's turn, or that's why it's called a quick play spell card, like Mystical Space Typhoon. So you can set that face down and play it when the timing is right. That's a quick play spell card. Again, it goes to the graveyard. Here's another quick play spell card. So even in your opponent's turn, be like boom, play that, goes to the graveyard. Here is an equip card. Is the next one equip too? Yeah, these two are equip cards. These you equip to monsters on the field. Like, Malevolent Nuzzler increases attack points by 700. And you specifically equip that to a card. Like, for example, Summon Skull is 2500 attack. I equip it with Malevolent Nuzzler. Becomes 700 more. It's 3200 attack points now. And just something that I like to do is I like to play equip cards sideways just to kind of designate that it's Summon Skull. So yeah, equip cards equipped to monsters. So yeah, those are equip cards. And yeah, an equip cards stay with the monster until the monster is destroyed. So they stay with it unless you destroy the equip card in another way, destroying spell and trap. But yeah, equip cards stay with the monster. If the monster is destroyed, boom, they get destroyed too. The graveyard. Next, these two are field cards. Remember, like I was saying, there are certain spell cards. There's a little star thingy, a sharp star thingy. There's a field card. Like for example, Mystical Plasma Zone increases all dark attribute monsters by 500 attack points, and you play that in your field card zone. So boom, any one of them who's dark, would get the increase in attack points or defense points or whatever. Umi, same thing. This says same thing for water. And once again, once it's destroyed by something that destroys spell and trap, because there's spell and trap that destroy spell and trap. Some monsters that destroy too, certain effects. So once they're destroyed, they go to the graveyard. So we've gone through spell cards, different types: field, continuous, equip. Now to spell cards. The trap cards. My bad. All right, trap cards are things you set face down. Hence the term trap, because your opponent falls into them. So you play them face down, like so, in your spell and trap. Again, by the way, you have these limitations, because I didn't mention this before, but you have a limit of 5 monsters and 5 spell and trap. So as you can see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so trap cards you set, and you can, for example, this one is a continuous trap card. It's got the logo, again, like an infinity logo on there for continuous. So this one, once you activate it, it stays on there. It's continuous, hence the term. And then there's other ones that are like, that activate in your battle phase, or we'll get into that soon, hopefully. Alright, so those are types of trap cards. Once you activate them, boom, they go to the graveyard again. And there's cards to bring stuff out of the graveyard, like Monster One and stuff anyway. And then there's other traps too that like your opponent summons, you get to do is, trap hole. Awesome. Alright, so now we've gone through in the previous video monsters, we've gone through spell and trap. Now we will go through how to duel. So I'm going to go through a turn and how everything works. And yeah, let's get started. For this, I will need to explain. Alrighty. Let's see how we can do this. Alrighty, so at the start of your turn from your deck, right, you draw 5 cards. That's how a duel starts. Maybe we'll show you a mock duel or something. But this is, I'm going to describe to you what happens in every turn. It's going to be a little difficult trying to make this straight. Alright, hopefully can you guys all see properly? Alrighty. Okay, so your turn. This is what happens every turn. I'm actually writing it out formally, but this is just what happens in a turn. Okay? You first have your draw phase. Every turn you draw a card from your deck. So I don't know if you guys can see. You know, so every turn you would draw a card. And at the start of the duel you drew 5 cards, and every turn you would draw a card. That is your draw phase. The next is your standby phase. You don't really have to worry about that because it's only with card effects. But draw phase first, standby phase, and then the main thing is your main phase. Main phase 1 to specify, because there's going to be another one. In main phase is where you do most of your actions, like summon, set monsters. You're allowed to summon or set 1 monster per turn, unless it's a special summon. But you're allowed to, that's what the green indicates. You're allowed to play spell and trap. You're allowed to play monsters, spells, or traps once per turn. For these, you have the limit of 5 on the field. Again, you have the limit of 5 monsters here too. But mostly that won't even be a problem. So that's your main phase, right? And then after that is where you have your battle phase. Now this is what the game is all about. The whole objective of the game, which I didn't get to. Oh, battle phase. I want to say life points, but battle phase. So what happens in this phase is you battle. I didn't get into that real quick, but that's what the whole attack and whole defense thing is all about. Okay, so this is where I'm going to put this in red because this is where you try to do life point damage. The whole point of the game is both duelists start off with 8,000 life points, and you have to bring it down. So let me give you an example real quick. But like Komori Dragon, he has 1,500 attack points, and Summon Skull, which is your opponent's, has 2,500. So what happens is in battle phase. Oh gosh, this is insane. Anyway, but you get the idea. Summon Skull attacks Komori Dragon, right? Summon Skull has 2,500 attack points. Komori Dragon has 1,500. So Summon Skull attacks it. There's 1,000 attack point difference. So you lose 1,000 life points from your life points when you have 8,000. So what happens is this stronger monster with the stronger attack points destroys the one with the weaker. And this goes off to the graveyard, and this one stays. So that's just an example of battle phase. This kind of got erased. My bad. And after battle phase, you have your main phase 2. Main phase 2. And afterwards, you have your end phase. Nothing really happens here. But again, in main phase 2, just like main phase 1, you're allowed to play magic and trap. And, set monsters and stuff like that. So real quick, I know this is kind of really messy, but hopefully this can help you guys. Okay. So at the start, let me pretend as if, again, this is our dueling deck again. This is our mock dueling deck for right now. Right? Alrighty, so what we will do is you draw. Okay, at the start of your duel, you drew 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you play rock, paper, scissors to see who goes first, who goes second, and then you go through your phases. First you draw at the start of your turn, draw phase. And then you have your standby phase, which certain effects have. You don't have to worry about that. Main phase, you get to summon or set. I will set this card. Then I set this card face down. And then first turn you can't enter battle phase, second turn you can. There's battles, this and stuff happens, and then you end your turn, and then your opponent goes.